Mr. Nicolescu, thank you for coming to this interview and congratulations for the success of your petition, which led to a resolution of the European Parliament yesterday, basically putting a lot of political pressure on Austria to lift its veto on Bulgaria and Romania for accession to Schengen. So let us start first with maybe, if possible, you're well known in Romania, but maybe even outside Romania, but if some people don't know, what should they know about you as the author of this petition which led to the resolution?
So my career is mainly linked to the energy and climate sectors. And also I used to work in both in the private and in the public sector. In the private sector, the longest job was partner in Deloitte Central Europe, coordinating energy and sustainability practice in Central and Eastern part of Europe. And in the public sector, I used to have various roles at the national and European level. I used to be a member of the Romanian government, being the minister responsible for energy. I used to be a member of the Romanian permanent representation to the EU a long time ago. At the European level, I used to be the chairman of the European agency dealing with energy regulations. So I have dedicated a part of my career to the European Union.
Okay, let us start with this petition, how the idea for this petition was born. It is you play by the European rules of the game in order to do change on EU level. So how did this idea appear and what were the thresholds in its realization?
I know the European rules and procedures. And being a big supporter of the European project, I want to see the European rules and the treaties applied in their letter and spirit all the time. Romanians and Bulgarians have the right to be part of the Schengen zone. It is good for them. It is good for Europe. Probably not very good for Putin. But for sure for Europe and for both of our countries and citizens, it's a positive thing. So there is a right, and the right should have been recognized. And after 12 years, we as members of the civil society, because 3 years ago I founded an NGO dealing with energy transition and with the fight against climate change. We said that we have to do something because there is also an environmental damage linked to this postponement. There are many trucks, cars waiting at the border controls between Romania and Bulgaria, between Bulgaria and Greece, between Hungary and Romania. And there is we are in the middle of a fight against a very big climate crisis. Last week was the hottest week ever in the history, and we have been generating pollution for nothing. So we have to stop this. We have to recognize the rights of Romanians and Bulgarians to be in Schengen, and that's it.
Okay, both the petition and the resolution of the European Parliament say that Austria basically is not sincere in its respect for EU rights and for other member states or citizens of other member states. And we see that in petition there is this appeal to the European Commission both to attack in court Austria for its rejection of admitting Bulgaria and Romania, and also to make calculations about the damages which Bulgaria and Romania withstood as a result of staying away from Schengen from 2011 on. So what change would this resolution of the European Parliament bring to the issue of Schengen and Bulgaria and Romania succession?
I think it is for the first time when an European institution, and we are talking here about the most democratic European institution, the European Parliament, are saying things very in a very direct and straightforward manner. Yeah, they are talking about because the resolutions of the European Parliament, I think we had several in the past, but for the first time they are saying, guys, here there is a discrimination. Guy, here there is a breach of the EU treaties. The guys, here we have to think that Romanians and Bulgarians should be compensated. So there are there is a very tough language, and I think it was the time to see such a language. And I'm very happy that the most democratic institution of the European Union are saying things in a very direct way. Because after 12 years, we have to, sorry for the expression, but we have to cut the bullshit.
We saw that in Romania, media widely reflected and published materials about this resolution, but we also noticed that maybe there is some division in Romanian politics, if I'm not mistaken, with this government of Ciolacu and the opposition. And we saw that Cioloș, one of the leaders of the opposition, asked Ciolacu to, if I understand correctly, to, if necessary, to ask for support on EU issues. So what are the reactions in Romania to this resolution? What will follow in Romanian politics from now on, if you can prognose?
Yeah, we are part of the civil society. Our initiative was supported by almost all the political parties. So it was a kind of unanimous support. The petition was supported by citizens from all 27 EU member states. So there were not only Romanians supporting the petition, there were also other EU citizens supporting the petition. I don't care much about the about the nation, about the political disputes at the national levels. There are everywhere in Europe. Probably sometimes too many. We should see more efficiency and effectiveness and less political fights, in my view. But well, the vote was more than 80% for the resolution. More than 80% of the members of the European Parliament were in favor. So it was a massive vote in favor. There were 7 members of the European Parliament from Austria who voted for the resolution. So it's a huge support, and I think it's a very important signal.
We also know that even though it's a Romanian petition, 2 countries are in fact suffering, Bulgaria and Romania, and there have been various discussions, especially after the last vote in December on the accession to Schengen. There, for some time, there was talk of the so-called decoupling of Bulgaria and Romania, the feeling that maybe Bulgaria goes slower in its resolution of the issues regarding Schengen, but also there was a lot of talk about cooperation between the 2 countries. So now in this moment, what do you think is the right approach between the 2 countries? Is decoupling still valid, or should cooperation be strengthened?
To be honest, in my view, this is a false topic. In our petition, we also mentioned a couple of times Bulgaria. So yes, the petition is about Romania because we are a Romanian NGO, but we mentioned Bulgaria, and the resolution of the European Parliament is about Romania and Bulgaria. It is true that I contacted directly some members of the European Parliament from Bulgaria, kindly asking them to support the petition. They promised and they did not come to the hearing. That's a reality. I was not happy with that, but it's a fact. It's also true that in the last phase of the process, during the drafting of the resolution, the Bulgarians MP were more active. this is very good. But initially they were not interested. The same with the Bulgarian ambassador in Bucharest. So I've been meeting the EU ambassadors on a regular basis, discussing this Schengen dossier. It was impossible for me to meet the Bulgarian ambassador. However, I asked for a meeting to have a meeting couple of times. The coordination between countries, from my own experience, I can tell, I don't know the authorities what they do, and if they coordinate, I have no clue. But from the civil society point of view, based on my own experience, I think it's a lot to be improved in terms of the effectiveness of the cooperation of the two countries. That's a fact. Then both countries deserve to be member in Schengen. For both countries, it's good to join together. From the regional stability point of view, from the economic impact point of view, from the from all angles, it's good to join together. It is also true that, and here we have to be very cautious. If we read, and I'm telling you that I'm very cautious with the rules and with the treaties. If we read the provisions of the Article 4.2 of the Treaty of Accession of Romania and Bulgaria to the EU, we should have one decision for Romania and one decision for Bulgaria. This is how the treaty was drafted. So this does not mean that we cannot join or we should not join together. And in my view, we should join together. But we, based on the spirit and on the letter of the treaty, our interpretation is that we should have two separate decisions. And I kindly invite you to read what I'm saying and to check on what I'm saying, and I'm delighted to debate with you or whoever is interested from this legal angle. So there is now a very good government in Bulgaria. I know some members of the cabinet, very professional and honest people. I really hope that the countries will join together. And the most important thing is to join as fast as possible. And if Bulgaria joins before Romania, as the country might do in case of the Eurozone, I will be happy, not upset, because more stability and more Europe in Bulgaria is better also for Romania. So we have to learn a little bit. Sometimes we have a Balkanic style, having the impression that we are in a competition. No, we are not in a competition. We are together. And what it is good, if it is something good for you, and if you progress better in Bulgaria, there is a positive impact also on Romania and vice versa. So we have to learn a little bit from this Swedish, Finnish behavior with their accession to NATO. We need to support and to work better than we do it, and we have to be pragmatic and to pay less attention to egos and stupid things, and to pay more attention to efficiency that could create a better life for our citizens.
Okay, two more questions. In December, the idea of Bulgarian Romanian mini Schengen was renewed because we still don't know what will be the final solution, and maybe there are some chances that countries don't enter in Schengen soon. So what's your opinion about such an idea, elimination of border controls and Bulgarian Romanian mini Schengen? How viable is this idea?
The idea is coming from the private sector, from the business sector. And I used to work in the business sector. I support business sector, and I'm in favor of this approach, because it will decrease the pollution. It will decrease the wasted money in the transport sector. Will incentivize the tourism between the countries. So I'm in favor. But I hope that again both countries will join together. and we don't need to create how they are called circles in the European Union. So there is one union, and we should join together, work better together. Let's support each other more than we currently do, because it's a win-win for both countries.
What's your expectation in this year to happen regarding the accession to Schengen, to the large Schengen?
To accession, what is my expectation? My expectation is that we should join tomorrow, because we have together, because we have been waiting for 12 years, and it's too much. If it's happen or not, we will see. It's clear for me that the Russians does not want to see more Europe, yeah, in the region. And I know that there are some countries that have raised issues. I mean, nonsense issues. Yeah. In case of Austria, I really don't understand them at all. I don't understand. They are talking about migration, but the route of migration is Serbia-Hungary. They are talking about migration, but there are 600 Hungarian police border officers drinking Coca-Cola and wasting time and resources on the border with Romania, instead of defending the problematic border with Serbia. So I don't understand them. It's very difficult to predict. They have a leadership full of with a very big ego. They have been playing in a very anti-European manner. It's difficult to predict. I don't like to predict. What I do, and I can tell you that we will do, I prepare for the case that we don't join, and we have a plan. We have a robust plan, and I prepare for the worst in order to get the results that we want to see. So we are prepared, and as I said, we also don't exclude to go to the streets of Brussels or Vienna and to say that they have to respect the treaties.
Can you say in short what is the plan?
I'm gonna reveal it step by step. I don't like to talk. I have no interest in publicity for this issue. I'm very interested in efficiency. But after the adoption of the resolution, I can tell you that the next step is to see the accession of Romania and Bulgaria back to the agenda of the Council, back to the agenda of the Justice and Home Affairs Council, because the vote that took place on December 8th was illegal. They did not respect the procedure. They did not take into account the environmental damage. So my next one of our next steps in the plan is to see the issue back on the agenda. And we will, as I said, we will continue. There are several steps. We have a very robust team in the organization, also with a very good with a very good European legal background. I help also the I help also the Bulgarian colleagues. There is now a petition from Bulgaria that is going to be discussed in the European Parliament, and we contributed a little bit to the content of the petition. It's initiated from Bulgaria, but of course it will cover both countries. So we should not give up with our hope and with our actions. That's my suggestion. And as I said, I'm happy that there were Bulgarian citizens supporting our initiative, and I intend to stay close with them and to work as close as possible with them.